So the 8R is to me, it looks beautiful because it's zero emissions and.
Well, it's a Class 8. That's why the 8R is for refuge. So that's your 8R logo. And the nice thing about the BYD truck is that we actually produce this truck from the ground up. It's 100% vertically integrated with our products. We do the AC motor on this. We build the body control module, battery control module. We build the cab, the chassis. We build the batteries and the battery packs. So 100% integration from one manufacturer.
As far as I know, you guys are the only ones that can claim that. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And how did that come to be that you guys are the only ones doing it? It seems like a.
Well, we started in from a different place. We started off in 1995 as a battery manufacturer. And so you'll find a lot of BYD products and a lot of products that are being sold today. And 1 out of every 5 cell phones has some of our product in it. So we've been in electronics for quite some time, but batteries, that's our birthplace.
And now that there's a huge push, I would say, toward battery electric refuse or collection trucks, collection vehicles, you guys seem to be extremely well positioned for this new evolution, I guess I could say.
Well, what you're seeing here is the Class 8 truck. But aside from this, what people don't know is that we are also building Class 8 tractor trailer trucks. We have Class 6 trucks. We sell yard trucks. We sell coach buses, school buses. We have forklifts, all of which are all electric products. So it's not just one product. And we actually make cars too, but they're just not being sold in the US. So this is not a small company. It's one of the largest EV companies in the globe. And we're here to go ahead and electrify transportation in every way possible.
And as far as the waste industry is concerned, Michael, is there, am I wrong about saying that there is that trend? And why do you think that trend is coming about for zero emissions?
Yeah. Well, you look across the globe, it's not just here in the US, but you look at what's happening in Europe and in other parts of the world. Everybody's starting to look at how they can reduce their greenhouse gas emissions. And so electrification is probably one of the best answers, if not the answer, for being able to help lower our CO2 footprint.
Do you see this trend continuing, excuse me, to kind of exponentially increase as time goes on?
Yeah, I mean, there for a long time, there was a lot of discussion over whether it be hydrogen fuel cells, if we should be looking at that as an alternative means for being able to put transportation in place. There's been some stopgaps where hybrids were in place. But as time goes on and the investment community is looking at where they want to place their bet, it seems like batteries are going to be the next big thing. So I'm thinking EVs are going to be it, but that's just Michael speaking. I think the market will speak and we'll know for certain in the next 3 to 5 years where things are going to go.
Now, you were part of a panel called Developing Infrastructure for Green Fleets. In your mind, what infrastructure does need to be built? Who is responsible for building that infrastructure? Is it the companies or is it the municipalities or the government? And how long will it take for that infrastructure to get into place?
Great question, and very open-ended depending on where you live and what the appetite is for being able to move that direction. But you mentioned municipalities and governments and then organizations. It's going to take all three. I mean, you look at what's going to have to take place for electrification to be a quality transportation solution, and it's going to be everybody involved, all above. It's kind of, the way I put it is, if you look at a wheel and all the cogs in it, every one of them is one single cog, and everybody's going to have to be a player in that space.
Anything else about the industry, Michael, that you think would be maybe barriers to what you guys are trying to accomplish?
You know, at this point, probably the biggest barrier is still cost, but as time goes forward, there's a ton of investment in the space of, in this case, batteries, which is one of the areas where there's a lot of advancements that are happening regularly. And we can talk about what's happened over the last 2-3 months that nobody knows about, but the fact of the matter is that that line in the sand continues to move in favor of lowering cost, improving energy density, improving performance of batteries. And 5 years from now, we'll look back and we'll see where things are at, and it'll be dramatically different than where we're at today.
Fantastic. And if you could briefly talk about what the upside is for transitioning into an electric fleet or a sustainable fleet.
Sure. I mean, there's two major ones. One of them is that with these products, there are very, very few moving parts. I mean, we get rid of all these belts and hoses and filters that no longer have to be changed out in order to maintain the product as one. And then if you start looking at how you resource the energy for this, electrical costs are roughly about a third, if not a quarter, of what you would normally pay on gas or diesel. So the cost of being able to operate this type of vehicle is going to dramatically reduce the daily expenditure that refuge trucks and others that are basically converting this today. It's a huge, huge cost. So we're looking at this as a long game.
Excellent. Michael, anything I have not asked you about that you think should be mentioned in this conversation?
No, I think that there's some good questions. It's some of the stuff we regularly find. I think the other piece of it is how far can the vehicles go today? And that's always improving, again, because of battery technology. At least with BYD, we have two different solutions on the truck. We have a 281 kilowatt hour battery and a 403 now kilowatt hour battery. So we're expanding that. We're making it so the application by which we're able to go ahead and have a solution for refuge drivers is becoming more and more real.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
You betcha.